Juan-O's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash app. It's like, hold up a minute, every time that I'm in it, got the whole room spinning. Can't explain how I'm feeling all day, I've been sipping. Ooh, man, what up though, y'all? How you living? I know it's been a minute since I've been tapping in with y'all, but had to work some things out with Google. We still working some things out. It's funny, no matter how old you are, you still learning things about how the world works. And no matter how new things are, a lot of shit remains the same. But with that being said, I see it's a lot of things going on with this Puffy situation. That video just came out. I gotta say that was tough, but then at the same time, it's like once you tell me somebody is regularly using 3 and 4 different kinds of narcotics, I expect to see shit like that. What's more appalling about this is we're living in what's referred to as a drug culture, which in America has always existed. But now, instead of this being something you do in the alley or on Saturday or at night, it's stuff that people doing all day. It's like everybody's a heroin addict. And if you don't know about heroin addicts, they got to start getting high in the morning or they can't do shit all day. And it's a very tough, very, very, very tough monkey to have on your back. Matter of fact, it may be one of the toughest monkeys to have on your back. And now, the introduction of opioids to the lifestyle is so easy. You know, you don't have to shoot yourself with a needle. You don't have to burn your nose. You could just pop a pill and get all the same effects, the good, the bad, and the super ugly, like this Puffy video here. But this is a little bit deeper than a Puffy video because this year, I wouldn't even just say this year, I would say the past 18 months has been exposed nigga season. And I'm not against somebody doing wrong being exposed, but what I am against is how we're looking as a people overall. Let me get some of this Kool-Aid. I don't know what it is about Kool-Aid. You get some Kool-Aid, you got to get the biggest cup in the house. But anyways, I don't understand why it's like this. So it's not just Puffy. It's everywhere I look. Black people in position of power are misusing their power. And that's not to say that other people of other races and cultures are not misusing their power. But man, does it look so bad when we do it. And then we're misusing power to our detriment, which is even more appalling to me. But we ain't just gonna make this all about Diddy. Let's check out some of the other black people, and or should I call them ninjas, embarrassing the shit out of all of us black people. Let's check it out. Number 1, Chris Shine Rock and Blueface. Nah, I gotta start with them number 1. Gotta start with them number 1. Them, him, her, the baby. The whole world watched her drink, smoke, fight, have all other type of altercations while pregnant. No one did anything. CPS was not appalled. She was on TV. Matter of fact, they built a $1 billion TV network. Well, I can't say Zeus was just built on their back, but they're a major part of the Zeus network, major contributor, all while pregnant. This selective outrage is kind of getting on my nerves a little bit because what I seen Puffy do was horrible, but those are 2 adults. What I'm looking at them do to a baby, that's unforgivable. Well, all of this shit is unforgivable. I'm just wondering, why are we picking and choosing? Look at this. Look at the baby. Look at this right here. I forgot. We done seen Blueface choke her out too. allegedly. I mean, I guess it's not allegedly because it's on video, but I'm gonna say allegedly. But we seen him choke her out too. What was the outrage for that? That was on TV, cable. Like, was it not domestic violence then? Number two, Tahoe Tiffany. Now, this lady here, she got to be one of the worst. She got to be one of the worst. Single handedly embarrassing every black woman in a political power position I've ever seen. She might be embarrassing black people generally. Now, this young lady, by all accounts, started as a community activist that was helping out her community, so to speak, or maybe she had her eyes in on getting in power and doing things differently. She was a staunch advocate for her people against the prior mayor. And since she has been mayor, there's been rape allegations, there's been funding irregularities. They went from a $1 or $2 million surplus in their budget to an alleged $7+ million deficit in over the past, say, 2.5 years. Oh man, she paid $150,000 to Lisa Tahoe. That's how she got the name Tahoe Tiff. I'm gonna clip in a little bit of action from her so you can get a little sample of how she's doing it out there. It's very appalling. She got the feds on her tail, on the news every day. I don't know why she hasn't stepped down. There's been shootings in her town. She's actually like a low-key mob boss. Go figure. Another ninja making us black people look bad. But check this out right here, though. Check her out.
Here. But then they running y'all, tell y'all this look fictitious story.
Would you like to just do an interview with me?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, let's go. I mean,
right
in addition to dollars between your two elected positions.
I do not. I don't know where you got that number from.
We got it from her own village and township records.
Damn, that's a lying ass
These
bitch.
are tax dollars.
And number three, the diddler. Gotta go to Puff, Brother Love. Get rid of my bad boy jersey. We ain't gotta even talk about him. Everybody else talking about him enough, so we. And number four on my list of things making us look bad, you guessed it, Chicago gangs. Man, now this one thing I really don't know what to say about, but then again, I guess I do. It's a whole lot of murder, a whole lot of rapping about it, a whole lot of interviews about it. You got whole YouTube pages and channels where people are making tens of thousands of dollars a month just by talking and interviewing all of these ex-murderers and murderers. Makes no sense that this is being allowed to continue, but what really makes no sense is that we see how us doing this to each other is profiting everybody else. And nobody's doing anything. Well, I'm not going to say nobody's doing anything to stop it. Shout out to FYBJ, man. He really sticking his neck out there. We going to give him and some of them other guys the credit. But on the other side of the game, it's just as much snitching as it is murdering. Makes no sense now, does it? Now we're going to slice some of that in here to give you an example of why that shit's so bad. But check it out.
O-Block gang have been convicted in the 2020 murder of a rapper known as FBG Duck. Duck's real name was Carlton Weekly. He was shot and killed shopping on Oak Street in the Gold Coast. The Tribune reports it took the jury 2 days to arrive at a verdict. The 6 convicted suspects are men between the ages of 24 and 34. All 6 were convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and murder in the aid of racketeering. 5 of them were also convicted of using a gun when Weekly was shot. Prosecutors say the men targeted Weekly as part of a long-running gang dispute.
When I go home and tell my grandkids that they're fine.
Hold on, you see this lady right here? Mama Duck, the mother of the young man that was killed up top. She was so distraught she had to start her OnlyFans page. You see her content?
Time you get shot, you stay in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
The second time you get shot, you're still in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about how, how much you value your life and how careful you are and how you know people want to hurt you, but yet you're still in the same area where these.
King Von by far was one of the best rappers out of his age group, also well respected. And as you can see, he had the power to turn this up or turn it down, and we see which one he chose. Which really don't matter no more because he died shortly after he put the hit out on Duck. Oh, and number 5 on my list of things making us look bad is The Breakfast Club. I know a lot of y'all didn't expect me to go here, and some of y'all did. But let's check out why.
Right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Yeah.
Till November, we got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
The scandal involving his former business partner, alleged real estate scammer Cesar Pina, a scandal that has gotten Pina arrested by and Envy's workplace reportedly visited by federal law enforcement. But Envy had been getting warnings from the beginning about Pina from a surprising person, Joe Budden.
I called 3 people. I called Clue, I called Fabulous, I called Joe Budden. Right? My desert store family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
Pina's alleged scheme has indeed been described as Ponzi-like in press reports and by the federal government. A second clip from a June 2020
that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd.
Me personally, I don't know him. However, you're not lying about this.
Ariel, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk, and
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. Spanish Fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They sell it in the Spanish store. I had the fucking.
They sell knives at the store too. You could put that to a girl's throat and have sex with it. That doesn't mean it's illegal.
So I put the Spanish Fly in the E&J. We drinking the E&J and shit. So in my mind, I don't know if this shit really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a motherfucker too. Right? So she was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and like. A lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck her. I'm like, nah, chill out. I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna let you run a train on it. That's rape. Yeah. Okay. So, right. So
it's just one-on-one. It ain't rape.
Yeah. So the next
trains are rape.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, are you sure I only had sex with you? Because one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he fucked her, which he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't. I was there the whole time. Yeah. He did not fuck her. Yeah. He looked at her naked, but he didn't fuck her, right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex. Nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, well, I'm just glad it was you. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, yo, you could have been in a real bad situation if it was another motherfucker
That's a huge compliment, man. A girl just said, yo, at least you raped me.
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her.
Hey, if it was any of your cousins or friends who have been raped, but
I didn't rape her because me and her had every intention of having sex with each other.
So then why would you put the Spanish Fly?
I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but
was she passed out while you fucked her?
Me and Malika were alone for a while until the EMS got there. Like, we were by ourselves. It was just dark. And then I just remember sitting on the curb just crying.
With like either groupies or
I don't do that shit. I'm scared of that kind of shit. I done had a rape charge before.
Oh, for real?
Hell yeah, I'm scared of that kind of shit. I don't even play them.
You got like a charge? How you beat that?
Because I didn't do it. It was a criminal sexual conduct with a minor charge.
That mean you would have to like register for the
right? It was
with a minor charge. First of all, how you in that situation? It's one thing to be accused of something with a woman that's in your age group, but how does a 22-year-old man catch delinquency of a minor and a R-word charge of a minor. That's deep. And why are you getting 15-year-old girls belligerently drunk at a party? Let's listen to a story.
2001. I think I was like 20. I was 20 years old. My cousin had just graduated from high school, and he had got a scholarship to Penn State University. And I had a party, and I had all of these chicks at a party. Like I was doing overnights I was working at Z93 then, so I had all these chicks there that I met through radio, and chicks that my dude had known. So I used to always see this chick with my dude. So I bought. I invited her to the party. So she was at the party and shit. She got drunk, high, whatever. Something happened in the room with a couple of my dudes. I'm asking them did they mess with the chick, after the fact, after she pressed charges, and they was like, no.
Now remember in the first story, he said that they had sex and nobody else did nothing to her, but he let them see her. Now he's telling this story.
But they was like, yo, she's bugging. I remember the night of, they was like, yo, she's in here bugging out. She's kicking over the TV and she's trying to set shit on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I had left. So the next morning, I'm hearing she said she got.
How you leave a 15-year-old, two 15-year-olds, which he's leaving out of this story. How do you leave two 15-year-old girls at a party you took them to? Now, I ain't gonna cut this part in because the video already long enough, but he went in and met their moms and the moms knew him. Seen him around. He was the dude on the radio. So he was like playing chaperone, so to speak.
She got raped. So I go to the hood to ask what happened. They're like, yeah, my cousin who I got the scholarship, yeah, he's in jail now. What you mean he's in jail? He's in jail. They said he raped the girl. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I go down to the jailhouse, talk to the detective myself. No, he had no one for me. I just told the detective, like, hey, look, I take full responsibility for anything that happened in the house last night.
You gonna take the case?
No, but I told her, I said, as far as I know, because I asked around, did anybody fuck? I'm like, yo, nobody got raped, yada, yada, yada. They didn't even have my cousin in custody. My other cousins was fucking with me. Because they was mad they didn't get invited to the party. Hating ass motherfuckers. So my cousin wasn't even in custody. So I went down to the jailhouse for nothing. So I'm like, I take full responsibility for everything. I bought the alcohol. They was like, well, you're not even of age to buy alcohol. And I'm like, well, how'd you get it? Well, I got a crackhead to get it for me. Whatever.
They went out there copping out pleas.
Yeah, they had to do shit. Yeah. So 2 weeks later.
Now, that's a lie, because that would have been a whole, with a case like this, that would have been a whole nother set of tickets. And then it's already been proven in the paperwork he is 22 years old. So, them unnecessary lies he telling. Unnecessary lies.
They come and arrest me for criminal sexual conduct with a minor. So I had to get blood and hair follicles.
Oh, you going down there to initially explain it?
They ain't had nobody else depended on. So being that I went down there and took full responsibility, well, lock him up.
Did it get through, you got indicted on it and everything? Or?
Now I went to court. Went to court and they reduced the charges to contributing to the delinquency of a minor because I had to give blood and all, DNA samples, and it wasn't me. Whoever touched it wasn't me.
So, you didn't get no jail time over that?
Nah, I got probation.
Now, what's left out of this story is not he gave blood and it wasn't him. When it got to that point, the mother of the 15-year-old didn't want to go no further because they lived in a small town. He was on the radio. It was a traumatic experience. So she says she didn't want her to keep reliving that experience, which I kind of understand. So that's why they just let him plead down, because the victim didn't want to go no further. And anybody has ever caught a case like that or seen somebody catch a case like that, the state can pick it up, and they will pick it up, but they have a harder time. Like I was saying, they have a harder time with the case. So with that being said, in closing in this video, just off the top of my head as a black man, these are the top 5 things I'm kind of tired of seeing. I feel that make us look bad. I feel they're a bad representation of who we are and the position and the light that's on them it's kind of detrimental to us all, because you seeing these people every day, all day, and it's never nothing decent. It's barely any decent people around them supporting what they are doing. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm not knocking how nobody feed their family, but I am knocking how you disrupt minds. We out.